I've been watching anime for close to 10 years now. The first show I ever watched was Naruto back in 2016. And over the past 8-9 years, I've watched a lot of anime. Some were fantastic and others were just complete slop. But today we're going to rate every single anime I have ever watched and place it on a tier list. So here we go. All right, here is quite literally every single anime or manga that I've ever watched or read. So let me explain what each tier is gonna mean. So S tier is reserved for like masterpieces or shows that are just super beloved in my opinion. A tier is the shows or manga that barely missed the mark. They just have one or two things wrong with it that I didn't really like. B tier is right in the middle, so it's just kind of like the average show that you would kind of watch and just forget about. C tier is a show that I just really didn't resonate with. And then D tier is that anime absolutely stunk. But we'll start with the first anime, which is Boruto. Now, unfortunately, Boruto stinks, so I am gonna throw that right into D tier. I think I watched like 150 episodes of this show, and I can't tell you a single thing that happened besides Sasuke and Naruto fighting Momoshiki. That's the only thing I can remember. Next is Gintama. Now, I know this show is super beloved. I mean, I watched it and I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was like a masterpiece, so I'll give it like high B tier. All right, next. So One Piece is the third option. That is insane. As you guys can probably tell, I got One Piece merch. Is that my, yeah, I'm putting it at the right spot. I think One Piece is an absolute masterpiece, the best piece of fiction of all time, and I don't think it's ridiculous. Oh, I got a duplicate here. There also might be duplicates, and some of these are season 1 and 2, but overall I am going to be ranking the entire show, not by seasons. So next is Ranking of Kings. Okay, I remember this show being really good at the beginning. I remember I watched the first like 15 episodes in like maybe one sitting, but it lost some steam, unfortunately. I think I'll give Ranking of Kings like a low B tier. All right, Akame ga Kill. This show kind of stinks. Not much to say about it besides the characters just kind of get killed off after being shown for maybe an episode. I wouldn't say it's D tier. It didn't like piss me off, but it's like a C tier show. Akira. So I watched Akira about 2 months ago, and I don't think that movie is any good. I'm sorry, that movie sucks ass. I understand the significance. I know it's very culturally significant. It's just a D tier movie. I don't know. The first hour of that movie was just a whole nothing burger. I don't know what to tell you. Another. This is some gore slop. I did not like the show. D tier anime, unfortunately. Aowashi. Now, this is one of my favorite sports anime. It's popped up in probably like 10 of my shorts. So I think I'm gonna give Aowashi the first A tier in this category here. Okay, so far this list isn't too bad. I just hope it doesn't get out of control and it just ends up being a absolute nothing burger of a video. Next is Blue Box. I might have some crazy recency bias with this show, but I really liked it. I don't think it was A tier just because of like some little things I just thought were kind of stupid. But as of right now, I'm gonna give it a little bit lower than Gintama, but still like a high B tier anime. All right, next is Black Clover. Okay, I really like Black Clover. I don't think there's too much wrong with it besides the beginning of it was really slow. But that's kind of how it is for most shonen nowadays. So I think I'll give Black Clover a A tier. I really enjoyed it. Bleach. Bleach has some really high highs in some absolute slogs of a low. The fights were really fun to watch. I think I'm gonna give it a high B tier because I still haven't watched 1000-Year Blood War. Oh, it's Blue Lock. I think Blue Lock is kind of overrated, unfortunately. I don't think it's C tier, but I would put it at the bottom of B tier. I've only seen season 1, so maybe it gets a lot better, but I haven't seen a lot of positive things on it online, unfortunately. Next is Erased. Okay, this show isn't like the best thing in the world. The ending was very easy to predict, in my opinion, if you have like more than 30 brain cells. So I'll give it like bottom of B tier for now. My Hero. Okay. Now, if you're a regular watcher of my shorts, you know I violate My Hero all the time. But being completely honest with you, I don't hate the show entirely. I think it's just kind of overrated. I got to season 5, I believe, and then I stopped watching it. So I'll give it, I don't think it's A tier. I'll say it's a little bit better than Ranking of Kings, so about mid B tier. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man anime, nothing really happened too much. The actual story doesn't really become that great until the Gun Devil actually gets introduced. So as of right now, I think it's sitting at like B tier. Story-wise, I love Chainsaw Man. I think the manga is a masterpiece. The anime, as of right now, it hasn't really done too much, unfortunately. Charlotte is next. Okay, I think Charlotte is a great anime. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but I would say A tier. And I think if you haven't seen it, you were missing out. A lot of people hate on this show for some reason. I still don't know why. It's a great anime. Okay, next is Chunibyo. If you asked me to remember one scene from the show, I genuinely couldn't tell you. And there's probably a reason for that. So I think I'm just gonna give this high C tier. Next is Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I loved the show. When I finished it, I thought it was like an absolute masterpiece, but in retrospect, it's just a really good show. I think it is a little bit better than Charlotte, so probably A tier. Okay, I'm looking at this. I think Black Clover is a little bit better than Aowashi, but these are like both really good shows. Okay, next is... Oh, that's a Dandadan. Okay, next is Dandadan. Okay, I can only go off the anime so far. Season 2 ended on a really big cliffhanger, but I know what happens because I've read the manga. But I mean, it's a great story. As of right now, I don't think it's A tier yet. I'll say it's a little bit worse than Chainsaw Man. No, I'll say it's a little bit worse than Chainsaw Man. So middle of B tier again. So editing me here, I honestly have no idea what I was thinking. Dandadan is not a B tier anime. That is 100% A tier. I have no idea what I was thinking. Darling in the Franxx. Okay. I think Darling in the Franxx is a underrated masterpiece. I want to give it an S so bad. You know what? I'm giving it an S tier. I think Darling in the Franxx is a genuine underrated anime that everyone hates on. This show is amazing. All right, next is Death Note. I don't really have to say too much about Death Note. Death Note is just an S tier anime. I actually have no complaints. I just really like Death Note. I would say it is better than Darling in the Franxx, the second S tier domestic boyfriend. They gave one of the greatest anime openings to one of the worst anime of all time. That show stinks. Dr. Stone. I think the beginning, maybe first 13, 14 episodes of Dr. Stone are really good, super entertaining. I actually really liked it. And then again, it kind of loses its footing, and I don't know. I didn't really think it was the greatest, so I'll give it like bottom of B tier for now. Golden Time is a very underrated show. I have arguments with my friends all the time about Golden Time because they think Golden Time stinks. I love Golden Time. Very fond memories watching the show. I think I watched it in like 2020, but I think I'm gonna give Golden Time A tier. I might even say it's better than Charlotte. We'll put it on fourth in A tier currently. Next is Grand Blue, and I think Grand Blue is also just a fantastic anime. Definitely not S tier, but I would say A tier. I loved watching it. As soon as I finished the anime, I read the manga, which the manga is actually better than the anime in my opinion. So Haikyuu. Now I really liked Haikyuu. I can't remember why I stopped watching it. I think I don't even know what season I got to. I watched a lot of it. I would say it's a little bit like below mid B tier. We'll put it there. Next is High School DxD, the absolute classic on my channel. This might be an outlandish take, but I think the story of High School DxD is actually good. If you removed all the fan service, I think the show could actually stand on its 2 feet. I mean, I did watch it when I was probably 15 years old. So, I mean, I think overall I'll give it like high C tier. Next is Horimiya. Okay. I think I'm gonna give Horimiya like a bottom of B tier. I don't know. I didn't think this show was that great. Grave of the Fireflies. Oof. Now this movie is very sad. I just don't remember like really getting into it. I kind of watched it on the side. So I mean, that's definitely why. I don't know. I don't really feel like I gave it like an actual watch. So I don't think I'm gonna grade this one. I don't remember anything about it. Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is a classic. I think I would be violating it if I didn't give it anything but an S. Hunter x Hunter is just a classic and a must watch for pretty much anyone. Hell's Paradise. I just finished this one very recently, so I might have some recency bias, but I really like the whole series. I really like the world. I like all the characters. I'm gonna give this an A tier. Remember, I'm rating everything as a whole, not just individual seasons. Like these are the entire show. Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't think it's a masterpiece that a lot of people think it is. I think it's just a really entertaining shonen. As of right now, I'll give it like lower A tier. I just don't think it's like the greatest thing in the world. Next is Kaguya-sama. This show I really didn't like too much, unfortunately. I think I watched the first 2 seasons when they first came out, and I haven't watched anything since. I think it's just like a B tier anime. All right, next is Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen are pretty much 2 sides of the same coin. They are both this really entertaining shonen anime that have like fantastic animation. The story is nothing crazy. crazy. I think it's also just another A tier anime. We'll put it right next to Jujutsu Kaisen. I think Your Name's an S tier movie. I think everyone should watch Your Name. Even some of my friends that have never watched anime before or don't even like anime have seen Your Name and liked it. So I think this has to get an S tier. Parasite. This is another one of those shows where I think the start of the show was very strong, a really good premise, and it slowly just kind of got drawn out. I just think it lost its footing pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna give this I'll give it like a B tier. Next is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This show was not for me. C tier anime. It was not great. Konosuba, one of my favorite comedy animes. I loved this show when I watched it. Then again, I did watch it like 5 years ago, so I was a lot younger. But I think it's just like a solid B tier anime. I think I will put it, I'll put it like right here. Next is Made in Abyss. Ooh, okay. I really like Made in Abyss. Great story, fun characters. I wouldn't say it's A tier. I think it's up higher on B tier. So I'll put it right here. I think it's a little bit worse than all of these shows, and probably better than all of these. Yeah, so that checks out. Yeah, B tier. Magi. This is a hidden gem. I really like Magi. I think it's just a really entertaining anime, and the music is amazing. Yubi Bianco is the ending, and that song is just a classic if you play Osu. I think I have to give this A tier. I have to give Magi A tier. Next is Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho is another classic, just a tier anime. I will put it, I don't want to put it behind Magi, but it won't let me oh, there we go. Okay, that works perfect. All right, yeah. Jobless Reincarnation. Now again, if you're a avid viewer of my YouTube shorts, you know I hate Jobless Reincarnation just because I think the main character is an absolute freak, and I can't get over the fact that he is a grown man in a child's body. I think it's just really weird. The story could be great. I don't really care. I'm pretty sure I watched all the way up to season 1, and I still really didn't think it was the greatest story. I'm sorry, I have to give it up like C tier. C tier in my opinion. Naruto. My first anime I ever watched. Can't go wrong with Naruto. I think it's my second favorite, next to One Piece. So yeah, S tier. Next is Welcome to the NHK. Now this show is very niche, I'd say. This is kind of one of those shows where you can't just go pick it up and enjoy it. It has to you have to be in the right mental space to actually enjoy it. If you've watched it, you kind of know what I mean. But I think it was an A tier anime. When I watched it, I low-key needed it, so it was perfect for me. But it's just a great show. Next is Nisekoi. When I watched this anime, I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much that I read the manga, and I think I only read one manga at that time. But it's just a decent romance anime. I'll say low B tier. Let me move some things around here. Next is No Game No Life. Now this show is just a classic, and it really does upset me that shows I got reincarnated as a vending machine get a season 2 and a season 3, but No Game No Life doesn't get a season 2. I don't get that. Just a great A tier anime. Next is One Piece Fan Letter. I think I could rate this one separately just because it's kind of like a standalone little story side plot. Just a fantastic 25-minute episode. I think I'm gonna give it S tier. I can't lie. That episode was electric. One Punch Man was pretty good. One of the first animes I ever watched. I think it's just a high B tier anime. We'll put it here. Just a really fun watch. Actually, anyone can pick up One Punch Man and enjoy it. What is that? Is that One Room? Wait, is that One Room? Okay, yeah. So this anime is One Room, and I guarantee you 99% of you have never even heard of One Room. The only reason I know One Room is because I have a huge background in Osu. And one of the openings for One Room is a huge Osu song that has 100 million plays on Osu. It's just a super popular Osu song. So me and John Porler watched this anime 5 years ago, and we actually watched it on My Anime List. So here's the My Anime List. You used to be able to see episodes, only premium, but you used to be able to watch this for free, and we watched this show on My Anime List, and this show is complete ass. I can't lie. Yeah, that is a D tier anime. Orange, probably the most mid romance anime I've ever seen. That is definitely a C tier anime. I did not like that show at all. Solo Leveling, very, very controversial anime. I don't want to give it an S tier just because this show has actually very little story elements besides Sung Jin-woo ore farming, and that's the only character that gets any character development, and he barely does. I would feel bad giving this an S tier. I think it's a high A tier anime. It's kind of in the same boat as JJK and Demon Slayer. It's just kind of entertaining shonen with not that deep of a narrative, but it's a fun watch, so I'll give it A tier. Next is Chivalry of the Failed Knight. Now this is pretty much just like a high school DxD clone, just a little bit worse. It's kind of like a different environment. So I'll put it right next to high school DxD at C tier. Nothing crazy went on with that show. ReZero. Now, I love ReZero. I don't remember exactly what episode it is, but that episode where Puff turns into that monster might be one of the best anime episodes I've ever seen. Just an absolute classic. I think I have to give ReZero an S tier. Like, I really like ReZero. I think that's Pet Girl Sakura Soa. Just another like fun romance anime that I watched a while ago. I remember really liking it when I watched it. If I watched it now, I probably would still like it. I don't know. I'll give it like a high B tier, I'll say. Ooh, okay. Next is Bunny Girl Senpai. I was recommended this show like 6 years ago. I didn't think the show was that great. I think if I rewatched it now, I might like it a lot more. But I didn't think it was anything crazy. I only watched season 1. I haven't seen any of the movies, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. So I think I have to give it a B tier. Your Lie in April. This is gonna piss off some people. I don't like Your Lie in April. I'm sorry. I said it. I am sorry. I genuinely tried so many times to get into this show. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get into it. I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna give it a C tier. I'm sorry. I genuinely apologize. It's gonna piss off a lot of people. Maybe I'll rewatch it now, but I don't know. I tried many times to get into it. I didn't like it. Attack on Titan. There's not much to say about Attack on Titan besides it's an absolute masterpiece. I would say it's number 3 on my top 3 anime just because One Piece is just better in my opinion. Naruto is really good. Not better in story-wise, but nostalgia-wise, it's just my second favorite. And Attack on Titan number 3. Next is, I think that's Sister New Devil. What's that called again? I think this next one is Testament of the Sister New Devil. Pretty much just another high school DxD clone that I watched like 6-7 years ago. I remember it being better than Chivalry of the Failed Knights, but not better than High School DxD. So next is Food Wars. I love Food Wars. I watched all the way up to season 4, I believe. And then season 5 got pretty boring. It had like a weird plot. I can't remember what it was. It was something that turned me off with it. But I really like Food Wars. I think it's a low A tier for sure. My Dress Up Darling. I think if you're above the age of like 18 and you're watching My Dress Up Darling, it's just kind of weird. Can't bring myself to watch season 2. It just makes me uncomfortable. I have to give this a B. Spy Family, I also think it's just kind of like average anime. I don't know. I didn't really see much about it. Also low B tier. Sword Art Online. I think the first 13 episodes of Sword Art Online are not a masterpiece, but like a 9 out of 10. Really entertaining, a really good story. I loved the first half of Sword Art, and then we lost the plot. Season 2, absolute dumpster fire. And then the whole Alicization arc, I really liked actually. So Sword Art Online as a whole, I think I'm gonna give it like a high A tier. I really liked Sword Art. Next is, what is that? That's Rising of the Shield Hero. Okay, this in my opinion is just like Isekai slop. I did not really like this show. I think I'm gonna give it a C tier. Weathering with You, I think Weathering with You is a worse version of Your Name, but it was a very good movie, so I think I'm gonna give it like high B tier. Next is I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Also, in my opinion, another isekai slop. Next is To Love Ru. Interesting. I don't think I can say too much about To Love Ru, but if you watch To Love Ru, we all know why we're watching To Love Ru. High C tier. That's all I'll say. Tokyo Ghoul. Season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul is just high B tier. Everything after that is just kind of like, they really sold, unfortunately. They should have just adapted the manga 1-to-1. But we are reading the entire show all together. So I think I'll give it like a B tier. Tokyo Revengers. I think Tokyo Revengers is actually really good. Season 1 I really like. I haven't seen anything past that, so this is what I'm grading, is just season 1. I think it's A tier. I really like Tokyo Revengers. Toradora, another just like fun romance. I remember I really liked it when I watched it. Probably holds up pretty well now. What is that? Is that Vivi? I believe that's Vivi. I don't remember anything about that show. Don't think I can even grade that. I don't think it'd be fair. I can't lie. Witchcraft Works. This is also another show that none of you probably heard of. It was just kind of like a random show that I wanted to watch for some reason. Yeah, just another like this C tier anime, nothing crazy. Next is Snafu. I think this is like high quality romance right here. I can't lie. Definitely some A tier anime. I would say it's a little bit worse than Golden Time, but still a great romance anime. Promise Neverlands. I want to give season 1 of this show an S tier so bad, but season 2 absolutely destroys it by so much. I think I have to give it like bottom of A tier. Next is Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches, I believe it's called. I remember this show being pretty entertaining. I think I watched this because of another Osu song. I C tier, I guess. Oh my god. So the next anime is Yatsuga no Sora. I genuinely can't say a thing about this show. If you've watched it, you know. I'm just gonna put it right about there. Classroom of the Elites, also just another fantastic show. I'm gonna give this A tier. The main character has so much aura. That guy's the GOAT. Aino Koji, one of the smartest anime characters. Next is Twin Star Exodus. Now, I loved this show up until I believe it was episode 25. And then something happened in the story that absolutely pissed me off. But for the most part, I thought it was really good. I think I'm just gonna give it like a high B tier. Next is, I think this is like, what's this called? It's The World God Only Knows. I don't remember a single thing about this show. I don't feel like I can rate it. I'm just gonna delete that one. Next is Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is interesting. It has a lot of potential, but there are so many shortcomings. It just weighs it down violently. I don't think it's A tier, but I think I would say it's high B. Fairy Tail is just like a decent show. Okay, now we're getting into the manga. So this is all the mangas that I've pretty much finished. I haven't finished Vagabond yet. 20th Century Boys. 20th Century Boys is a genuine masterpiece. The author that somehow cooked up this absolute like masterclass of a story is nothing short of a genius. If you haven't read 20th Century Boys, after you finish this video, please go read it. It is actually insane. Berserk, again, just another classic. If you haven't read Berserk, you are genuinely doing something wrong. I think it's better than 20th Century Boys. Berserk is also just a masterpiece. Dandadan, the manga of Dandadan is good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's S tier. I would say high A story-wise for sure. I will only put it there. That sucks. Gantz. I think Gantz is absolutely fantastic. Now, if you haven't read it and you're about to read it, there is a lot of very, very, very questionable scenes in this manga, so I'm warning you. The story is fantastic, though. It hooks you in really quick. I think I have to give it S tier. Next is Grand Blue manga, also just fantastic. I have to give this one S tier as well. I don't know why I read this. I genuinely can't tell you. This story absolutely stinks. I'm gonna say like I'm saying D tier. I think Don't Mess With Me Nagatoro is an absolute slop. That story sucks. One Piece, again, just an absolute masterpiece. One Piece manga is fantastic. Sakamoto Days manga is also S tier, just a masterpiece of a story. Next is Slam Dunk. This is like another masterpiece, bro. Oh my god. All the mangas that I've read have just been fantastic. I've pretty much just read all of the top manga. And then we have My Dress Up Darling. Interesting. Vagabond is the only manga that I haven't finished because I genuinely don't want it to end. It's on a crazy hiatus right now and it's not coming back. I guarantee it. I just don't want to. I just don't want to be fully caught up. Next is Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man manga is also just fantastic. I've only seen part 1 of the Chainsaw Man manga. I haven't watched or haven't read part 2 yet. Part 1, I think I read in one sitting and I loved every second of it. Just another masterpiece. Nisekoi manga. Out of the 220 something chapters that the Nisekoi manga is, I want to say 210 of them are just nothing burger slop chapters. If you're into that, perfect manga for you, but overall not that great. I'll say like C tier. But yeah, here is my entire anime tier list. I'm actually surprised it wasn't more. I might need to watch more anime because I am an anime YouTuber. Maybe I should watch more anime. I thought I watched a lot in the past 5-6 years. But anyways, feel free to absolutely violate my opinions in the comments. Here's my tier list.